Stop building Minecraft circles in Out of War. We'll be showing you guys how to build a rounded structure. So you can build like silos, anything, as well as the roofs or the tops going on top of them. Curved shapes for roads, or things like building maybe a dam, or walkways, or sprawling through your landscape so it doesn't look so cookie cutter and straight. So let's go ahead and jump on into this, and we're gonna show you guys all the little tips and tricks. I'm gonna keep this as simple as I possibly can, but there's a lot to cover in this. So if you need to pause or do whatever you can do, but we're gonna show you guys how to build a silo pretty much anywhere. First thing that you're gonna need to do is open up your menu by hitting P and going into your store. You're gonna type in steel wall, and you're gonna buy some steel walls. Just buy a bunch of those, you're gonna need them. And then you're gonna go ahead and type in block. It doesn't matter what block you use. I just use pretty much any one of these, and I'll just use like a solid concrete block. Okay, now that we got the block, let's go ahead and pull this block out. We'll move it around. I'm in snap mode right now, and that's fine. So I'm gonna find an area where I want the center of this. Well, we'll just say we're building a little tower. I'm gonna snap this block here to the ground. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna jump up on top of this thing and kind of stand like right in the center-ish. Somewhere right around the center, right? Okay, now that we are standing in the center, I'm gonna take the block out. And if you look in grid mode, yeah, you could just spam in grid mode and make another Minecraft circle again, but that's not what we're doing here. Let's get away from that. I'm gonna go to free mode, and then I'm just gonna like, well, let's just see what happens when I spin around in a circle and place some blocks. Let's do this. Yeah, let's kind of place a couple here. I'm sure you guys have all tried to do this, and then all of a sudden, like, it starts getting all janky all of a sudden because you flicked your wrist, your cat jumped on your desk, all of a sudden you raged out and punched a dolphin. Whatever, it happens, right? We all get that, we get it. But we're gonna bring out the steel wall for this because this will help us out a lot, and I'll show you why in a second. You know, we're gonna make sure we're relatively flat up against the block, even though we're kind of offset in the camera. That's okay. You can kind of adjust that left or right a little bit. We're gonna kind of just judge the arc, but split, what the hell? It's gonna do the same thing that you just showed before. Nope, we're gonna show you how to fix that. All right, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go into the settings. We're gonna go to camera, and then we're gonna look for one that says first person or third person up and down. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna add a modifier to this by clicking on it and hitting, we'll just do shift on both, right? And then do not touch the left and rights because we're going to leave those the same. And then we're going to go ahead and save this. And then we come back in and we move our mouse all around. But guess what? You can't move it up or down. You guessed it. So you can go ahead and spam in a circle all you want. And oh my goodness, this beautiful circle I just made. I'm not making Minecraft garbage anymore, boys. Let's go. Nope, you're still wrong. We're going to tell you how to make it better. Yes, that's right. But sadly, you're going to have to take your time placing them slowly, because if you just spam them, yes, you'll get a nice circle, but however, you will be spamming too much. So when you go to build and snap up or down, you will then have an issue, you guessed it, placing them so they look appropriate as you go up and down to make the cylinder that you're making. So you do need to take your time doing this, as well as you'll notice that you're like, hey, it doesn't look a circle as the other one you just did, because the radius determines how those little blocks line up, and taking your time and finding that right radius is what you need. So I just like for this last piece, I'll just cut the difference in between both pieces. So it's okay. It's not a Minecraft circle anymore. It's way more closer to an actual circle. When you look at it from a distance, you just see a circle, right? So that's what you're shooting for, but you can perfect that even more, but we'll leave that up to you. Okay, same thing. We're going to turn that back on, or we're going to turn it off so we can run around and look, or you can just hold down the modifier so you can move around, right? Cool. So, all right, what do we do from here? It's really simple. You guys are probably a no-brainer on this one, but we'll go over it anyways because people might be learning. Like those little things I was telling you about. Like I said, just make the diameter a little bit bigger so that way you either need more of a block or less of a block. This is one of the smallest that you can make. But now we're going to see, so you can snap to this now. I'm going to go ahead and take a wall and snap it on there. Do not snap it to the side one you just snapped because it's not correct. You need to look up and snap it to the top because that's always going to be your reference. Never snap to the block or anything you're snapping to it to the side of the other one because it'll just make it off. So you have to snap to the one above it, right? Always. So that's where you keep that. Then you can come up here and snap to the top. You have to make sure you're snapping to the correct one or else you'll get your dimension completely off. Once you get the hang of it, you can really just speed through this and just snappy, and then all your lines will be perfectly the same going up your tower, right? And here we'll show you guys how to put a roof on it. Let's go ahead and grab, well, Let's go steel, and then we're looking for like a steel floor or a steel roof. We're gonna look for the angled roof because this is, you know, kind of the same thing. So I'm just going to show you guys how to put an angled roof on this. Go and grab some of those. So a little tip here is if you could snap the floor, the roof angle piece, see how you go to snap it there? Mistake. Don't do that. Snap it to the wall. Always remember the reference of the wall. Snap to the top. We're going to put these bottoms on first, so that way it'll be easier to snap the ones going up because we're in snap mode. We're building a structure off grid. So we're more free placing and free structure building here because grid can get a little bit, well, static, as you guys have noticed. So we're gonna break that trend of doing that. See, now I can just click to the top and snap in, and now you can see the structure starting to take form. Yes, you will have overlapping because this is such a small circle, right? And then we make sure we look there, and then we have the top, and you guessed it, do the same thing. This is a little harder because you can see the things are meshing together. You really have to look in there and get that snap just right, or you could just cap it off. And then go ahead and delete all the little excess pieces hanging. And then you look, you got a top for it. Easy, right? So what if you want to make a flat top? Well, all you have to do is grab some steel floors, grab a bunch of those, and you guessed it, click it right to the top of the roof. The blocks do not really like snapping too well to these sometimes. So make sure you keep that in mind. So you just go and kind of go around here and, you know, click them on here. And snap it in. Boom. Got top to it. Flat top. Easy. If you have the decorations DLC, you can come into here in a deco pack and type in, well, just type in water. And you can buy a bunch of these water blocks. And again, you can then either put them down in the bottom on snapping to, yet again, the wall. Remember, that's the key to this. Always snap to the wall, or else things will be sticking through your things. You can snap them up here too as well. And then you can make your silo look like it's full of like water or something like this. You can make like a water tower or whatever, right? And put the last one in. GG. Is this guy ever going to show us how to build the dang freaking, like how he did the arcs in the dam? Yes. Well, same principle, but let's go ahead and build a couple floors out here using grid mode, or not grid mode, snap mode, right? Easy to do. Same thing. So you're going to line this sucker up here, right where it's just barely sticking on there, right? Where, you know, you're kind of just chilling and it's like barely looks like it's merged into the floor. Then you're going to hit escape and you niced it. You're going to go ahead and put shift modifier on these and save it. Then you guessed it, you can't move up and down. So therefore you can't change the deficit, lose your place. Very simply, just go ahead and slowly start adding a curvature left or right, however much you want. And that way you're like, you know, it's not going to mess up for you. You're not going to rage out and, you know, freak out. And this does take a long time to do, but once you get these, the arch that, or the arc that you want, or the bend, whatever shape you're trying to build, then this damn autosave's screwing up my recording. How dare it? But so pretty much, yeah, you're just going to do this until you get the shape that you want. Then I'm going to show you guys how to fill it in. So naturally, you're going to want to come over here and try to like snap a block onto this. Yeah, they don't really want to snap onto the bottom. They always want to snap to the top. Then you're going to go, oh, let's just do this, right? And then like, oh yeah. Yeah, you know, let's just figure out how to like make that happen. And all of a sudden it's being janky. And oh, look, I finally got one block into place. That's booty, because you can't snap the blocks to the side of the other blocks because it won't follow the curve. That's right. So how do you overcome that? What's the easiest way to do that? See, can't only snap to the top. And then if you go and snap it to the other block, you're doomed because you're following that block's line on the side. And you're left with that line. Yeah, no, we don't. That's unacceptable. Okay, so we're going to go back to get it. Yes, again, our trusty wall. Because guess what? You can snap a block to a wall. Wizardry. That's right. So then you don't snap the block to the other side of the block. Don't be tempted to do it. Don't do it. Pull that wall out, snap your walls in first to the floor tiles. Do not snap them to the other wall pieces, because then it won't follow the curvature. And then once you get your wall curvature in with the wall pieces, then you can come in here and see how it's following the line now. Beautiful, beautiful, right? Then you can snap your concrete block in coming down. Once you put the first row in, then you can snap to the bottom of that block. And then that way you're not left with big jagged lines in your wall face that you're building unless you messed up the curvature a long time ago. See, that line's a little smoother. So you just gotta be careful. Sometimes when you're speed building, you will place them and snap them to the block and then you'll get a nasty line. But see, as you remove it, GG, right? That's acceptable little line. It's because I put a little line there. So see, that's how you build big giant arcing curves and stuff like that. So if this video helped you guys, I'm going to ask you one time. Hopefully you said to someone, you're awesome today. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. I'm out of here. Peace.